Hello, everybody. Welcome to On the Homefront. My name is John Murphy. Very happy to be sharing some time with you once again. Today's program is going to be very special. It's going to be one of my most personal shows in a long time, looking at the work of a great American composer-performer, Randy Newman. I've been playing him on the radio for 50 years. He's very much a part of the American psychological state of mind these days. We just went through an election day yesterday when all of the social norms are a little off, the balances are a little off, the gyros not steady, and America's looking again at its deep values, where they came from. How are we living them every day together? And Randy Newman has been working in this mental space for 50 years. His music is a wonderful kind of a legacy of that, and we're going to look at him today. And my special partner for the program is going to be Dr. Gilbert. Gil Gigliotti. He's a professor of English at Central Connecticut State University. He's also acting this year as interim dean. We met at a radio event last year, and here we are talking about Randy Newman. And the reason why I have Gil here today is that he's so close to the music himself that he decided to design a course to introduce students to Randy and his history, his music. So he's a great partner to tell Randy's story. And with so many records to pick from, we only have time for a few. So the purpose of our show today is really just to get you to check Randy's music out. If you know him, then you know why we're doing this. If you only hear him from a few songs you've heard on the radio, you need to know more about his music. And we're going to look at three themes that run throughout many of his recordings: politics, relationships and sex, and religion. So, Gil, thank you for coming out for the show today and for all the work you've done to keep Randy's music alive.
Oh, thank you very much, John, for inviting me because, I love Randy Newman, and I've loved him since I was 15 and I first heard Short People.
Right.
It was a single, and it was one of the, I still own the 45. And because I'm not tall, real quickly, but I knew when I heard this that this is something different. This song is different. It's not like other things, and I found it really, really funny. And that's where my love began, and then I started, looking back at what he had already released, and when new records came out, I'd buy those.
Right, me too.
And as the time moved forward and I became a college professor, I realized that really what he's doing is writing dramatic monologues, right? A kind of poem that dates back to at least as far as Robert Browning. But it's a monologue by a single person. But the way you learn about that person is by looking at what they say. Right? What does that person say? What does it tell you about the person? What does it tell you about the event, etc.? And it involves close reading, which is what I want my students in my English classes to do. So it's a perfect thing to, because then you get the beautiful melodies too.
His words are marvelous. A few sentences can trigger an emotional response you won't believe, also because of what's happening behind the words with his arrangements. The combination of the two can really twist things around, and that's part of his gift. I think for a lot of people, they may know him from some of his work with Disney recently.
Right, Pixar.
I mean, he got a recent award, finally. He got his award. But also through some of the hit singles like Short People, Rednecks was controversial. Right. But now we're kind of looking at his roots and where they come from. And with the life that we're living today, his topics are really close to the hearts, and that's why we have you here. So the course has been 10 years old now.
At least, yeah.
How has it grown? What's the response been from young people at that age over the last decade?
Well, what's fascinating is, of course, I say, well, you know this guy even if you don't, right? And then I mention Toy Story, and I mention Cars, and Monsters, Inc., and that sort of thing. It's like, oh, okay, all right. And I said, well, but that's stuff that he's written specifically for movies. And if you ask him why did he write it that way, he said that's what the movie demanded. But his solo stuff is stuff that's near and dear to his own heart, and it's very, very different. So first of all, just getting them to hear this very different Randy Newman is fascinating, right? And then you play things like Davy the Fat Boy or something where, and there's something you want to listen to. And I remember the first time I played that in class, there was just dead silence at the end because it's about taking advantage of this person.
Some very harsh stuff.
It's a really, really harsh thing. And once students kind of hear that, and they're not expecting it, right? They're not because it'd be like, why would someone write that? Why would this guy want to write a song about that? It's like, because that's happening all the time. Right?
Well, not necessarily all the time, but Suzanne, suicide on the beach.
Yeah.
She's had enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That kind of state. So he goes into those spaces, and that's where the songs really can touch you, even if you're not there yourself. I think one thing you mentioned is he's not a storyteller as much as an observer of storytellers. And when you get his frame, the words take on a different meaning, if you're careful to do it that way.
Yeah, and you have to listen, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's not someone that you just kind of put on and don't pay attention to.
Very
you
true.
can, but you're missing the big part of it, right? Because it's all about who is this person, whose voice is this, and what am I supposed to take from it?
So what we're going to do is we're going to use our time the best way we can to get as many tunes. Fortunately, they're pretty short for our show, but we're going to go to an album, Sail Away. This is track number 7, Matt. It's a tune that's called Political Science, track 7. And that'll be our lead-off tune. We have three or four songs in this set, and then we'll come back. But we'll start out with Political Science from the early 70s.
No one likes us, I don't know why. We may not be perfect, but heaven knows we try. But all around, even our old friends put us down. Let's drop the big one and see what happens. We give them money, but are they grateful? No, they're spiteful and they're hateful. They don't respect us, so let's surprise them. We'll drop the big one and pulverize them. The Asia's crowded, Europe's too old, Africa's far too hot and Canada's too cold. South America stole our name. Let's drop the big one. There'll be no one left to blame us. We'll save Australia. Don't wanna hurt no kangaroo. We're building an all-American amusement park there. They got surfing too. Boom goes London, boom Paris. More room for you and more room for me. In every city, the whole world round will just be another American town. Oh, how peaceful it will be. We'll set everybody free. You wear a Japanese kimono, babe, to be Italian shoes for me. They all hate us anyhow. So let's drop the big one now. Let's drop the big one now. We've taken all you give. It's getting hard to make a living. Mr. President, if pity your cheek, maybe your life. Maybe you have lost your mind. Maybe only think about yourself. Too late to run, too late to cry now. Time has come for us to say goodbye now. Mr. President, have pity on the working man. Mr. President, have pity on the working man.
Hey, what a great tune for after an election day, isn't it? Mr. President, have pity on the working man. That's from his Good Old Boys recording. And before that, we heard Political Science from Sail Away. We have a special show going on today all about Randy Newman, and I'm on the program today with Gil Gigliotti from Eastern. You wanted to... Central. I saw. I teach at Eastern. The ad-libs can kill me.
And they're sister schools, so
Sister
there's
schools.
nothing wrong with Eastern. But
Yeah. We'll have to
Central.
edit that out for the master copy. We'll edit that out. But anyway, you wanted to introduce a more recent recording now from a more recent record called Dark Matter.
Yeah, and
It's called Brothers.
From 2017, and it's in the wake of the first Trump presidency, right? You know, kind of after he'd been elected, and he had President Trump had said a lot of things and had actually expressed a lot of admiration for Putin, and that's going to be tied in. And these two songs go back to back on the album. And it's interesting. But anyway, he's looking back to the beginnings of the Kennedy administration, and Brothers is the name of the song, and it's a conversation between John and his brother Bobby, who is his attorney general.
Right.
And it's hilarious in a number of ways, and it's a surprising song where it ends up. But we can talk afterwards too. But anyway, so these two political songs, Brothers and Putin, from Dark Matter.
And the other part of this is that this focuses on Putin shortly after Ukraine had lost Croatia. That was a different time, you know, so that was a different situation way before Ukraine had been hit. So let's go back now. We'll start with Brothers.
Hey, Bobby, why you standing in the shadow? Come over by the fire, wanna have a drink with you. This is our house now, so let's act like we belong here. Considering some of those who've lived here, maybe we do. I got some Michter's Irish whiskey from Mr. George Preston Marshall, the man who owned the Redskins since the days of old. And it runs them like a plantation, Jack, like a plantation, boy. For never has a black man worn the burgundy and gold. Does he know it's the capital of the country, Jack? Does he know that it's 1961? Does he know that the Redskins need a halfback Bobby boy who can run? There's a man to see you in the office, Jack. Bob, I'm going home, I've had a rotten day. You're home, Jack. But I still don't want to see him. I think you should see him anyway. It's about Cuba, Jack. The Russians are pouring in, and it's 90 miles away. This man has a plan to overthrow the government there with a very small expeditionary force. They'll land on the beaches in the dead of night, so no one will be at the beach, right, Bob? That's right, Jack. The people will join them, they'll march on Havana, then our planes will fly support. Aha, but they won't, Bob. We'll have nothing to do with this. But wait a minute, Bobby. There's a woman there in Cuba whom I love. Oh no, Jack. Not in a bad way, but a good way. Do you know any Cuban music, Bob? Does I Love Lucy count? Of course it does. But the one whom I love is Celia Cruz. Celia Cruz, Celia Cruz, greatest singer in the world today. If she's there and wants to get away, then bring her here to the USA. I'll see the man with the plan. Now be the first to shake him by the hand. Now be the first to give him the news. We're gonna save Celia Cruz. Celia Cruz, Celia Cruz. Celia Cruz, Celia Cruz. Sing along, Bobby. Celia Cruz, Celia Cruz. Sing harmony, Bob. I always sing harmony, Jack. I know you do. I'm excited, Bob. It's just like the Rough Riders. You excited? Dad was right about you, Bob. Big office, isn't it, Bob? Long hallway. Putting his pants on one leg at a time. Me is just like a regular fella, huh? He ain't nothing like a regular fella. Putting his hat on, hat size number 9. You saying Putin's getting big-headed? Putin's head's just fine. He can drive his giant tractor across the Trans-Siberian plain. He can power a nuclear reactor with the left side of his brain. When he take his shirt off, he drive a ladies crazy. When he take his shirt off, make me wanna be a lady. It's the Putin girls.
Putin, if you put it, when you put it, where you put it. Putin, if you put it, where you put it next to me. Putin, if you put it, when you put it, where you put it. Putin, if you put it, when you put it next to me.
Putin hates the Putin girls, cause he hates vulgarity. He loves his mother country, and he loves his family. He and his ex-wife Ludmilla ride along the shore of the beautiful new Russian Black Sea. Let's listen in. The great man is speaking. We fought a war for this. I'm almost ashamed. The Mediterranean. Now there's a resort worth fighting for. If only the Greeks or the Turks would start to sniff around, oh, I'd bring the hammer down. So quick their woolly heads would spin. Woolly head, woolly head, woolly head. Oh, wait a minute, even better. What if the Kurds got in the way? Hey, Kurds and wait, Kurds and wait. Sometimes a people is greater than their leader. Germany, Kentucky, France, shot at glory, they don't get a second chance. Drag these peasants, kicking and screaming, into the 21st century. I thought we'd make it, must have been dreaming. Chicken farmers and fire plugs gonna be the death of me. I can't do it.
Sure you can.
I can't do it.
Yeah, you can.
What makes you say that, girl?
Tell you why. 'Cause you're the Putin man.
Who whipped Napoleon?
We did.
Who won World War II?
The Americans.
That's a good one, ladies. So I'll turn and sit in the comfy chair.
And you're the man gonna get us there.
I don't know. Lenin couldn't do it. I don't know. Stalin couldn't do it. Now they couldn't do it. Why do you think I can?
You're gonna lead our people to the promised land.
You're right. It's goddamn on the Putin man.
There you go. Randy Newman getting in trouble again.
Such a smart song. And there are just throwaway lines throughout that thing. If you're paying attention,
Yep.
they're very, very funny. And that's what he's so good at. And it's, I believe he won a Grammy for that song for best group arrangement, vocal arrangement.
It was amazing, too.
yeah.
It was okay. So as you may know by now, we're looking at Randy Newman today on the program, a special hour-long show. We're going to come up on a short break. We have 2 more themes to go. We just finished Putin, and if you can imagine Putin bare-chested on his horse in the mountains, we're going to go into a whole segment with Randy Newman about sex. So if you get off on that, you stay with us either way. Putin, you can knock it off, and we'll come back after the break. Hello there. We're back on the Homefront today, taking a look at the music and writing and arrangements of Randy Newman with Dr. Gil Gigliotti from Central Connecticut State University. We're going to shift our theme now. We talked about politics to open the show. We have 2 more to go. We're going to move into sex and relationships, where Randy, again, has had a very unique combination of being an eyewitness and a storyteller and an observer, often of our most important foibles, our own personal failings, as much as our joys and successes. And this first song may be a good lead into that. But maybe you can set us up for a love story.
Okay, well, first of all, this is the very first song on the very first solo album that he releases.
Very
right?
good. That's
So
right.
that's really important. And he did both he wrote the music and the lyrics, and he did the arranging of the strings. And when the album was over, he kind of said, it's almost as if we didn't realize the Rolling Stones ever existed, because it's a very, very traditional sounding album. But anyway, I love this song because it's in many ways a perfect pop song, because before it's halfway through, you're going to be able to sing along with the chorus, and that's what makes a good pop song. But he plays with us by the end, and we can talk about that after the song.
All right, we're going to hit it in now. Love Story from Randy Newman.
I like your brother, I like your mother, I like you, and you like me too. We get a preacher out by rain, we'll hire a band with an accordion, a violin, and a tenor who can sing. You and me, babe. You and me, you and me, you and me, babe. You and me, you and me, you and me, babe. You and me, you and me, you and me, baby. We'll have a kid, or maybe we'll rent one. It's got to be straight. We don't want a bent one. He'd drink his baby blue from a big brass cup. Someday maybe president, if things loosen up. You and me, baby, you and me, you and me, you and me, baby, you and me, you and me, you and me, baby, you and me, you and me, you and me, baby. I'll take a train into the city every morning. You may be plain, I think you're pretty in the morning. Yeah, some nights we'll go out dancing if I'm not too tired. Some nights we'll sit romancing, watching the late show by the fire. When our kids are grown, with kids of their own, they'll send us away to a little home in Florida. We'll play checkers all day till we pass away.
Okay, love story from Randy Newman and his first release. Just want to mention that earlier this year, Gil put an article in an art journal in Europe about songwriting, and he focused on Randy Newman. It's called The Outrageous, Alarming, Courageous, Charming Randy Newman. And he also referenced a book that came out last year. If you want to learn more about Randy and his music, it's from, I guess it's Robert Hilburn or Richard? Robert Hilburn, A Few Words in Defense of Our Country, the biography of Randy Newman. And maybe one thing we could do, too, before we do our next two songs, let's go back to the course you teach. With his story, how do you decide to break his narrative story, his family history, and the industry stories as part of a course?
Well, yeah. It's hard, right? Because you're but you know, so you're bringing in all these things, and you show how they all work together, right? Yeah. So you so you start with his family, right? Because his three uncles, right? Who's of course
Alfred,
Lionel, and Emil, right? They all were. Alfred was the head of the music department at 20th Century Fox for decades.
Yeah.
He scored both Charlie Chaplin films and Airport. Right. That's how long he was. That's how long he was in charge, and so that's just remarkable. And Emil and Lionel were very busy arrangers and composers and conductors as well. So Newman is learning when he's very, very little that music is a possible career. Right, in a way that other people his generation did not. They could imagine being a rock star or whatever.
That's
but
right.
Newman knew there's a career to be made here in making music, and he learned so much from his uncles and just the kinds of music that were on some of the greatest films ever made by Hollywood. So there's that, and you could hear him doing things in that song, for instance, in Love Story, where a line would go by and then there'd be kind of a sound effect that was very cinematic.
Yes,
and so that's very cool.
In fact, that's why I brought up Gil's article. Was he kind of makes a reference that Randy employs film scoring techniques in his arrangements because a lot of it is cinematic and it's not always in a traditional way you would expect. It's more for the action of the song than the music for itself.
Right.
So that's the very part of him that becomes impersonal. He serves the story.
Right. And also, what's great about that song is, as I said, pop songs have a certain structure, right? A pop song, you have verse and then chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, and you leave with the chorus so that everybody's singing along by the end. And here, what he does is he frustrates us as listeners, you want that chorus, you and me, you and me, you and me, babe, to come back at the end. Because even if the children are dropping their parents off in Florida to die there, right?
Yep,
and they're never going to visit or whatever.
That's right.
If they come back with you and me, you and me, you and me, babe, you can say, okay, so maybe their children have abandoned them, but at least they have each other. But he doesn't give us that you and me anymore. All it says is until we pass away, and then you get this string coda. That is just devastatingly depressing.
It leaves you suspended.
Right, because it's like, okay, we're just going to die now. So
that's his gift. So we're going to do 2 short songs in a row now, okay? Maybe I'm doing it wrong. It kind of explains itself, you'll find out. And the other one is Marie, which is a pretty devastating kind of a love song. Maybe we should set up that because it's a harsh story.
Yes, so it's a love song sung by a husband to his wife. He thinks she's sleeping, and he sings this song to her, or he says, "This is the dramatic monologue." That's the situation. But you learn all of those things just by listening to the song. But he talks to her, thinking that she's asleep.
All right, there you go, Randy Newman, take it away.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Just don't move me the way that it should. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. There ain't no book you can read. There ain't nobody to tell you. But I don't think I'm getting what everyone's getting. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Sometimes I throw off a good one. At least I think it is. No, I know it is. I shouldn't be thinking it all. I shouldn't be thinking it all. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Just don't move me the way that it should. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Thank you. Like a princess the night we met, with your hair piled up high. I will never forget. I'm drunk right now, baby, but I've got to be. I never could tell you what you mean to me. I loved you the first time I saw you, and I always will love you, Marie. I loved you the first time I saw you, and I always will love you, Marie. And the song that the trees sing when the wind blows, your flower, your river, your rainbow. Sometimes I'm crazy, but I guess you know. I'm weak and I'm lazy, and I hurt you so. And I don't listen to a word you say. When you're in trouble, I turn away. first time I saw you, and I always will love you, Marie. I loved you the first time I saw you, and I always will love you, Marie.
How about that? Just Randy Newman and a piano and us on the radio. Beautiful song, beautiful lyric, a painful story, but still gets you going, doesn't it? That's the power of those notes.
Right. And
Those notes.
You know, it's part of a long tradition of songs, certainly from Broadway, where okay, the guy is not necessarily a great guy, but the woman loves him, you know, or
he's
or
flawed. He's
right,
flawed.
you know, he's flawed, but she somehow loves him anyway. That's why I've always heard that song, right? And real quickly, compare it, Marie, to I'll have to say I Love You in a Song by Jim Croce, right? One is just a song cue, but Newman's is a real situation. But anyway, when they released the outtakes of Good Old Boys, there was a song that called Good Morning, in which it's the next morning, and we discover that Marie wasn't asleep at all, that Marie was awake. She heard everything he said, and she just devastatingly mocks him. It's just brutal. It's a brutal takedown. We can't play it on the radio because it's filled with profanity. Because he doesn't take it well, because of course he's drunk or he's hungover at that point,
right? And
he's coming down and it's his birthday, and anyway. But it's I always figured, oh, Randy's just participating in that bill, or my man done me wrong, but I love him still. But no, Marie stands up to her husband and says, you know what, buddy, you're a lousy father and a lousy husband. So there you go. Anyway.
Because you get it all from Randy. You get it all.
You do.
Now, we have to watch the clock. It's flying. We have one more segment to do, closing out on religion, which is another way that we hurt each other, of course. But we'll get to that in a few minutes. We have one more short one left, another family story. Can you help us set up Memo to My Son? That's from Sail Away.
And think about it. Okay, so this is going to be a song to his son, and you'll find out that it's a very young son. And who sends memos to their young child? Right? And so that's one of the things I always point out to my students. Okay, so this is a song, right, to his son, right, or a father to a son. Why would you call it a memo to my son, right? What does that do for it? What does that, and that, of course, takes it out of the realm of, kiddo, I love you, and but anyway, so let's take a listen.
That's Randy giving another kind of a witness. Here we go.
What have you done to the mirror? What have you done to the floor? Can I go nowhere without you? Can I leave you alone anymore? Can I leave you alone anymore? I know you don't think much of me. Someday you'll understand. Where did you learn how to talk, baby? I'll show you how smart I am. Wanna show you how smart I am. Quitter never wins. The winner never quits. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Maybe you don't know how to walk, baby. Maybe you can't talk none either. Maybe you never will, baby. But I'll always love you. I'll always love you.
All righty, we're back in the studio for the last part of the show. Hope you're enjoying the music. You know, the whole reason why Gil and I are here is to introduce you to Randy and to have you learn more about his music. Several years ago, they put out a wonderful 4-CD collection. It was called Guilty, 30 Years. It's a nice collection of his recordings over the decades with lots of bonus tracks that were never issued.
And also soundtrack music.
Oh, please, yes.
So soundtrack music, which... And listen to his soundtrack music because he's a remarkable composer and arranger. So
he's very, very gifted. And there's one more book I want to mention to you that actually Gil recommended to me that I love when I read it. It helped me prepare for the show. It's called Randy Newman's American Dreams. It's from Kevin Currier. It's a fabulous book that goes into the industry, his personal life, his music, and something that we don't have time to is to talk about two producers who were legendary at Warner Brothers, and they were Lenny Waronker and Russ Titleman. They were the people that helped Randy make so many records, and guys like Michael Franks, they created their own American songbook on that label. I know we talked about that.
Yes.
So we don't have time for that, but they're behind many of these records helping Randy get through the industry stuff. All right. So anyway, let's go to our next segment. We have a track here on religion. This is I Think He's Hiding. So let's set that one up while we have time.
Yeah. So this is about it's about God. God is the He, and so listen to what Newman's trying to do with this. And real quickly, Newman would make it very clear he is not a believer.
Here we go.
If the big boy comes tomorrow, there'll be no more teardrops, there'll be no more sorrow. If the big boy comes tomorrow, will he take you with him? Have you been good? Have you been bad? You haven't lived the way you should, you wish you had. When a big boy brings fiery furnace, will he like what he sees, or will he strike the fire and burn it? Oh, it's so great, and it's so straight, and you know it's watching. Have you been good? Have you been bad? Things don't go the way they should, it makes me sad. Come on, big boy, come and save us. Come and look at what we've done with what you gave us. Now I've heard it said that our big boy's dead, but I think he's hiding. I think he's hiding. I think he's hiding.
Yeah, that was from Randy's very first record in 2025. He might still be hiding. Who knows?
God as Santa Claus but also God who will come and burn us. But he's hiding. And what's interesting is Newman's range isn't great, right, as a singer.
True.
But he uses his voice differently for different songs. And so he's doing something very specific there in that song.
And very artful, too.
Yeah. So, but anyway, good stuff. Good
All right.
stuff.
So our last tune, appropriately, as we prepare to lift off at the end of the show, is Harps and Angels. Maybe you can set us up while we have time.
Yeah. So Newman was sick for a while with Epstein-Barr syndrome and other things, and so this is. I don't know if this is based specifically on that, but he, in his later albums, he does sort of start using himself more and his own experience, but he always does something different with it. So it's never truly autobiographical.
But a little more personal, maybe,
Yes.
with some of the storytellings. All right, so here we go. Harps and Angels.
Has anybody seen me lately? I tell you why. Has anybody seen me lately? I tell you why. I caught something made me so sick that I thought that I would die. And almost did too. First my knees began to tremble, my heart began to pound. First my knees began to tremble, my heart began to pound. See, rhythmic, out of tune, lost my equilibrium, fell face down upon the ground. As I lay there on a cold pavement, tear ran down my face, as I thought I was dying. You boys know I'm not a religious man, but I sent a prayer out just in case. You never know. Lo and behold, almost immediately, I had reason to believe my prayer had been heard in a very special place. But this is what happened. I heard this sound. Yes. Yes. It was harps and angels. Harps and angels coming near. I was too sick to roll over and sing, but I could hear them singing ever so beautifully in my ear. Then the sound began to subside, and it sounded like background singers. Voice come down from the heaven above. His voice full of anger from the Old Testament, a voice full of love from the New one. The street lit up like it was the middle of the day. And I lay there quiet, listening to what that voice had to say. He said, "You ain't been a good man. You ain't been a bad man. But you've been pretty bad. Lucky for you, this ain't your time. Someone very dear to me has made another clerical error, and we're here in a bit of a wild goose chase. But I'm going to tell you a few things that hold you in good stead when it is your time. So you better listen close. I'm only going to say this once. When they lay on the table, better keep your business clean. When they lay you on the table, better keep your business clean. You don't want no backstabbing, ass grabbing. You know exactly what I mean. All right, girls, go out of here. Encore. You spoke French. Très bien. Encore. And off they went into the night. Almost immediately I felt better, and I run here to see you, boy. Cause you know we ain't living right, and while it was fresh, I want to tell you what he told me. He said, "You you on the table, better keep your business clean. Lay you on the table, better keep your business clean. Yes, there won't be no harps and angels coming for you. Be trombones, kettle drums, pitchforks, and tambourines. Sing it like they did for me once. Yes. Beautiful. Wish I spoke French. So actually, the main thing about this story is, for me, there really is an afterlife, and I hope to see all of you there. Let's go get a drink.
All righty, what a great way to end the show. Harps and Angels.
That's French. I'm speaking French. Okay.
That's it. So I want to thank you very much for being here today to share the music we love with Randy Newman.
Yeah, well, thank you, John. Anytime.
The people here watching the show, check out Randy's music. Check out the books that we mentioned before. Also, if you enjoy the music of Frank Sinatra, you should enjoy Gil's show on WFCS. Not only is the interim dean and professor of English at Central Connecticut State University, he also does a show on Tuesday mornings from 8 to 10, 107.7 in the Hartford area, and it's also online anywhere at WFCSradio.com. He's been doing the show now for many, many years, since the early 90s.
Yes.
And it's all about the history and roots of Frank Sinatra. So thank you for doing radio, keeping local radio alive, and for helping to keep good composers and singers alive.
Thank you. Doing my best, and thank you.
So that was Dr. Gil Gigliotti from Central, and we'll see you next week. Thanks very much for sharing your time.